students and, of course, in the heart of Ajegunle. What are we going to be doing to ensure that these facilities are also used maximally and they are protected for the future of generation that will still come to use those facilities?
What the state government has done is that Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the governor, has directed that the maintenance of the schools should be taken over by LASIAMA, Lagos State Infrastructure Management Agency. So LASIAMA will be the ones appointing those who are going to be doing janitorial duties and everything there, so that it remains a spick and span all the time.
Okay, so I know these projects are sited in different parts of the state. So at the end of the day, when the projects are commissioned, what are the likely impact, socio-economic impact of this project in those areas where they are sited?
Take, for example, the Okpebi-Ojota Bridge. That place is notorious for terrible traffic. People want to go to the airport, they miss their flight because they cannot cross from Ojota to Mobolaji Bankantoni Way. That will be a thing of the past. People want to move from Okpebi, they want to go to Maryland. They don't need to go and turn Mobolaji Bankantoni Way, go all the way through the Sheraton and all that. No, they just zoom and use the 4 underpasses. There are 4 underpasses there in the bridge. That's one of the facilities that it offers. So they will just pass through and go to Maryland. So travel time is shortened. There is comfort when you drive. So motoring is a smooth experience now. It's a very new, experience for people who are commuting
within that area.
Yes, in that area. And of course, when you have that kind of facility, it also increases property value. People will now see that no matter what you have there, that, I mean, it's a question of people want to stay around that place and they'll be able to pay for the value of the property there. So, but above all, it's going to increase the living conditions of our people. You don't need to spend time in traffic congestion anymore around that place. And then you have happy motoring. Then you can even go on the bridge to begin to jog any time of the day because there is 24 hours street light there. And then the walkway, very fine. You can use it for jogging. Then cyclists can go there to bike anytime they want to bike because it has a bicycle lane too. So for us, it's a new experience, you know.
Is the food logistics hub also part of where Mr. President will be commissioning or unveiling during this trip? If that is part of the project, let's also quickly look at the impact of that hub, especially to when we talk about impact of food security in Lagos State and the kind of collaboration and partnership Lagos also has with a couple of other states in the country.
Yeah, thank you so much. That food hub is, I tell people, it's the cousin of the one you have in Mushin. The one you have in Mushin has lived up to expectation up to today since its commission. People have been patronizing it and getting quality produce from that place, food items. And the one in Ajah that we are talking about, Lekki Ekpe Expressway, is also going to be like that. Okay. When you go there, you are sure of fresh food, you are assured of fresh vegetable, and you are assured of, above all, consistent in pricing. Right. It's not that you get there today, they say it's 10,000 naira, 10 naira, and then tomorrow the thing is doubled. Okay. No, and then the quality is assured. It's also part of the experience that we are having about a Produce for Lagos program of the Ministry of Agriculture and Food.
So, okay, Honorable Commissioner, I know that something must have triggered some of this project and infrastructure constructed by the administration of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu. So what kind of engagement did you have prior the construction of this project, and how was Mr. Governor able to marshal resources together for us to see the reality that we are experiencing today?
Of course, if there is, if you see the blueprint that has been laid down by our leader, our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that successive governors have been following, there is no way that if you don't even have the money, you go to a bank, there are bankable projects. Everybody is looking at that Lekki, that Okpebi, Ojota Limbri today, and is excited. People are seeing it online, and they are happy about it. It's all because the governor knows what is going to better the lot of the people. He knows what is going to make their living conditions better. He knows what Lagosians will be happy about. And he knows his dream is, like I said, to be Lagos will be Africa's first #1 mega city that is safe, that is secure, where investment is very good, and then return on investment is high, and then also very fast. And when you have this kind of dream, there's no way all of these projects will not be coming into your heads, and then Lagosians too, they are clapping, they are appreciating what Mr. Sanwo-Olu is doing. So he will continue to do it.
All right, so also tomorrow we will be having a consolidated speech at just one venue for tomorrow. Is this deliberate, especially because Mr. President will be going around, and so once he speaks at one of the venues, that covers the rest of the speeches for the venue. So is this deliberate, and how will this capture all of the events that will happen tomorrow?
There is no space tomorrow where we are not going to be. You, the media, will be everywhere. Nobody will miss anything, whether it's a consolidated speech or separated speeches. Nobody will miss anything.
Okay.
But like I told you, what is at the heart of the whole thing? The most important thing that we should all realize is that all of these projects, they are in the spirit of renewed hope. The mantra that Mr. President has been preaching, under which he has done a lot of bold reforms, decisive decisions, and courageous moves that he has made to put the economy on track, to ensure that our living conditions are better, to ensure that states and local governments get more money to do more projects like the ones that we are talking about. So once you realize that it's not just a day of speeches here and there, it's a day of reporting to Nigerians that see what we've been able to achieve, and for Lagosians to be able to welcome Mr. President home, and for Mr. President to be able to see how his dreams have been realized in Lagos, and how we have been towing the path of integrity and honor and hard work that he laid.
Okay, no doubt about it. Lagosians are very happy that Mr. President is in town, and of course, he's going to commission some projects. They are seeing what the government of Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu is doing with their taxes. So, in terms of security and traffic management, what are the arrangements that you have put in place?
Well, we had a press conference yesterday to tell Lagosians about the visit and to tell them what to expect and what not to expect. What not to expect, part of it is that there will be a lockdown in the city. Nothing like that. The president has been in Lagos now for a couple of days, and everybody has been free to move around. There is an express directive from the presidency that wherever the president goes, if you close the road, as soon as the president moves, you open the road immediately. So you won't have any lockdown around Lagos. And apart from that, LASTMA is throwing in about 500 men to go and ensure that everywhere there is no lockdown in Lagos tomorrow, that traffic is smooth, is fast, and is moving.
Security?
Oh, for security too, the police and other security agencies, they've been meeting and be talking about how to ensure that everywhere is peaceful around this time. And you have seen that the president has been in town for quite some time, and then everywhere is calm, and it's going to remain so, especially during this visit, because everybody is at the alert to see that all is well.
All right. I think on Thursday there's also a day of tribute and book unveiling. What really is this all about?
It's part of the legacy of the Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu administration. There is a book that is going to be unveiled by Mr. President on that day, and it's the kind of book that is going to excite everybody who's interested in what we've been able to achieve in Lagos, and the kind of book that people will see several years to come, and launch an applause for Mr. Governor. It comprises most of the things that he has done in his administration, and he feels that through this book, written by Demola Olaniran, that people will appreciate is a modest contribution to the progress of Lagos.
Okay, so it's more or less like a compendium of what Mr. Governor has achieved during his administration.
Correct.
Here
In big, bold pictures that we almost lift out of the page. When
pictures that will tell the stories.
and then the stories that you are going to read. I'm just trying to give
be
you
modest about
yes,
it.
an insight into what to expect from the book. Not so much of words and all that, but pictures that speak to what all of us we are seeing around us.
Okay, it's uncommon to see governors in Nigeria in the last lap of their administration doing so much to give to the people that voted them into office. What is actually propelling Mr. Governor to embark on some of these iconic projects, even though he's on the last lap of his administration?
Lagos is a state that is full of energy, and the energy of the people is incredible. And if you live and work and you superintend over such a state, there is no way that you can just go and relax that you have done enough, you want to rest. You keep on moving. The challenges of running a state like Lagos, they are very big. And once you have such challenges, you also must have the energy that will match them, because people are watching you. Most of the time, people don't see what you have done. They see the ones that you have not done. So you keep on trying as much as possible all of the time to satisfy the people, to see that you are doing what they elected you to do, and to do what the party promised to do when you were campaigning. So there's no way that you'll be governor of Lagos and you will not work up to the last minute. And I can assure you that Mr. Sanwo-Olu will continue to cut the tapes and to continue to work, opening new projects up until the last minute.
Right. So some of these iconic projects that we would be seeing, or what that we already have on ground, how inviting are these projects to foreign investors who would also still want to come into Lagos and partner with government in ensuring that Lagosians have access to more dividends of democracy?
Well, there's no time that Mr. Governor opens the door and foreign investors don't come in. Don't forget that Lagos has the highest number of a foreign direct investment in Nigeria. The next state is even trailing behind so far. Why is this so? Because they see all of these big things that Lagos is doing. We want to talk about the blue lane and the red line, and then the green line that is coming up, and the purple line that you see on the drawing board. So there are so many things that foreign investors can come in here to do, and they are interested in it because they have seen that when you invest in Lagos, the return on investment is very high and very fast too. And they have seen that in terms of security, Lagos is the most secure state in Nigeria, and that it is intentional, it is deliberate. The government is doing a lot about security so that without security, investments cannot come. So because Lagos is secure, people are interested in investing in Lagos, and they keep on coming. Whether you want to talk about setting up industries, taking up consultancy services, building, and all of that, there is no how they will not be coming, because the environment is conducive. It's very fine for them to invest. And they have seen that the return on investment is very high. Right. And there is no threat to security anywhere in this state.
Okay, I see how intentional this administration is using the taxpayers' money to impact the people. We have seen projects here and there, aside from the iconic ones that Mr. President is in town to commission. For those who are not in the tax bracket yet, what do you have to say to them? And what will be going through their conscience now when they start using the Propelling Link Bridge, the Tolu schools, and some other infrastructure in the state?
Well, I would like to commend the LIRS. They are doing a lot to ensure that the tax net is expanded. I have boarded a cab before, and the driver asked me to show him how he could pay his tax, because he said he was seeing what the government was doing with the money. But I tell you, people talk about Lagos being very rich. They are not also looking at the challenges of Lagos, our terrain. Today, somebody was asking me about how much it costs to do a project, and I was telling the person that before you see the bridge that you saw, that the engineers had dug about a 3-story building down before you saw what you saw as a pillar, and then you began to see a bridge. but that what is inside the ground, nobody will talk about that, how much it costs to do that and all of that. You just see that people are doing piling. The Tolu school that we're talking about, they went down, the engineers went down 25 meters before putting up the foundation at all to do piling the foundation. You know, so all of these things, they cost money. But Lagos is said to be the most populated city. About the population, about 15 countries in Africa put together. About the population is growing 15 times as that of Chicago or Los Angeles or even New York. So you can see people come into Lagos in their thousands every day without any plan to go back. So there's so much pressure. All of these people, you ask them to come and have Lagos residence card, they think it's for tax. Those ones who are big, who ride the big vehicles, they don't even pay. They say their kids don't attend your school, they don't go to your hospital. They have forgotten that when they have a headache and they want to rush down to London, the road on which they drive.
Still have to drive on the Lagos road.
So if you have about 20 to 25 million people in Lagos, as of last year, of this figure, about 6 million are in the tax net. Out of these 6 million, about 4.5 million people are active taxpayers. Out of the 4.5 million people, about 70 to 80% are people who pay through their PSU1, their salaries. So all of the big guys you see doing big things, they don't pay. They don't pay. So people feel that Lagos has money. It's not so. Thank God and thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now states have more money to do more projects, to do better than they are doing, all in the name of renewed hope that all of us are experiencing now. Otherwise, Lagos, it's not doing enough. It's not getting enough that it should be getting from those who are supposed to pay and who are not paying.
Right. So
there are some who are even, people you want to see who are not highly placed, but who appreciate what the government is doing. Like that taxi driver of whom I spoke, who said he would like to find out how to pay his taxes because he could see what the government is doing, driving all the way from Ikeja or Alausa here to the end of Abule Egba and not seeing a single pothole.
All right, Commissioner, let's quickly talk about sports, investment in sports, taking a look at the Tolu Schools complex as an example. We know that the school has a football pitch, sports courts, and a whole lot of that. And we know that Mr. Governor is also very intentional about sports. Will this be going forward a template to ensure that more public schools have sports facilities so that our children can begin to develop more innate talents when it comes to sports activities, as well as going forward into more sporting activities as a state?
Well, if you look at the records recently, the youth games that we had somewhere in Europe, they got state athletes, they came tops. If you look at the National Sports Festival that we had too, Lagos State athletes, they did very well. There is no school that Lagos State government is building without a sports facility. And when we talk about sports facilities, I'm talking about the type that, will be the envy of even national sports organizers. So, and it's going to continue like this because it is deliberate. The Lagos State Sports Commission, headed by my brother Lekan Fatodu, has been intentional about how to get facilities to make what he calls catch them young, to make our young people to be interested in sports. And it's going to continue. We are building all of our youth centers. Most of them have been very well refurbished now in Ikorodu, on the island, and so many places, all about sporting facilities. And the Maracana Stadium in Ajegunle, you can see it is a beauty to behold. And from that pitch, we rise national stars. Ajegunle has a history, a heritage of producing national stars in music, in sports. And I think what Mr. Governor has done there is going to help in this matter. and put Ajegunle as a place where you can, a factory that manufactures young sporting talents. But like I said, all of the schools in Lagos that are being built now, they have room for sporting facilities that will be the envy of sports administrators.
Indeed, the administration of Mr. Babajide Olusola has raised the bar in terms of quality of education in the state. We see the quality of schools that we have scattered in the 5 divisions of Lagos State. But let's talk about the teachers now, because if you have buildings and the teachers are not trained, they are not well remunerated or motivated, then the investment will amount to nothing. So what kind of encouragement is Mr. Governor giving to these teachers for them to deliver on their key targets and, of course, impact the students in those schools?
Well, if you look at the service conditions of teachers in Lagos State, I think if we must be honest, the Lagos State government under Mr. Sanwo-Olu has done very well. All of the things that he has provided for civil servants, teachers are never left out. And I do not see any state that rewards teachers the way we reward teachers in Lagos State. Recently, Lagos is, I think, one of the very few states, or the first to start it, to be making teachers permanent secretaries, tutor generals. And the other day, those who did well, and what teachers did, they were rewarded with cash. There are so many things that the government does to ensure that teachers don't have
get their reward in heaven.
Yes. We want to talk about their gratuities, very paid promptly. We want to talk about salaries, paid promptly. We want to talk about wage award, paid. And I feel that, well, teachers, they have never had it so good in Lagos.
All right. Before we wrap up this conversation this afternoon, let's also quickly look at human capital development. We know that Lagos also invests a lot when it comes to its workforce, and Lagos can boast as the biggest civil service in Nigeria. So when we talk about how much impact this administration is having on the general workforce in Lagos State, how would you assess this administration?
No, I think this administration has done very well. I have friends all over Nigeria. I have colleagues. I think Lagos is still the only state sending people for training regularly, abroad, locally. And I think this is all about developing the human capacity of the state. I give it to Lagos Civil Service. That's a very good record of ensuring that people get trained, that you join the civil service. It's not that you just stay in one place. You are motivated to improve yourself and to also be able to do your job very well. So I think all of the training that we are doing, the encouragement the governor gives to civil servants is what has made Lagos civil servants to be what you have said, the best in the land. And give it to the HOS. He's a man who is also very creative. I do not think that all of the programs that he has thought out to ensure that Lagos civil servants, that they get the best, I don't think there is any of them that Mr. Governor has condemned at ESCO. Everything that he has brought has been approved to my own knowledge.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, we know that in every society there will always be some deviance. So this project was done with the taxpayers' money. But for those vandals who are always in the habit of vandalizing government property, what do you have to say to them?
Well, I think it's not good. Let me just be soft. I think anybody who goes after government property to vandalize them, the person is out of his mind. But unfortunately, all of us, we need to keep our eyes open for such people and to be able to grab them while they are doing it. If you cannot do it, just film the person. I have seen that cables are being removed, lamps are being removed, traffic lamps are being destroyed. I mean, this is not good at all. This is the kind of attitude that is good for a jungle, not for a mega city, a progressive one like Lagos. But I think that the law enforcement agencies, they are not resting on their hours. They are trying as much as possible to get some of these people. It's just that the law does not permit us to be publishing pictures of people arrested anymore. But some of them have been arrested. But I would still feel that those who buy all these things from them, they should desist from doing so because it's criminal, because it's wicked, because it's incredible that people can say, you go and steal government public property and then bring to us and then we buy it off you. It is not good at all. And all of us should condemn it, and not just condemn, we should act and see that these people who are doing this thing, that we stop them.
All right, is there anything Mr. Governor is doing particularly at the moment that you'd like for Lagos residents to take note of? Perhaps we haven't discussed as we've been speaking, and you think that it's very important for the people to know that there are certain things Mr. Governor is doing at the moment?
So many things. Like we have been talking about iconic projects. The ones that we have mentioned, they are just the ones he was talking about governors not being that active again in their second term. And I said, Mr. Sanwo-Olu cannot afford to do that. If you drive to the island on Third Bridge, you see at Adeniji Adele on your right, the massive street hospital. There is no governor who can have that one in mind and seen it on the way to work every day and who will not do everything that is completed. If you go to Ojo, for a long time, Lagos State has not built a general hospital. A general hospital is springing up in Ojo, and we need to complete it. So there is no way Mr. Governor will not want to complete it. In Ketu, there is the food and logistics hub, which is going to, on completion, be the best, the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa. And apart from that, you look at the mental hospital too, which is also in Ekpe. It's going to be the biggest of its type anywhere in sub-Saharan Africa, with about 500 beds. Because mental health is something that people don't really care. They don't think about it at all. Whereas it's real. It's real. And for Mr. Governor to realize that this is a problem that we should tackle, I think he deserves applause for that. Okay. So that hospital is going to be there, not just a hospital, but a rehabilitation center too. So I think he needs to complete that. So many of these projects are on his mind, all the big roads that we want to do. So we need to complete all of that. So the bridges, he thinks about Lagos should have its own airport. He thinks about the green line that will be coming all the way from Lekki-Ekpe Expressway to the island here. So, I mean, all of these projects are there for Mr. Governor to think about. So if you look at that, you can't just rest.
Okay, so let me take you back to the Ojota-Okpebe link bridge. We know that in terms of security, architecture, it is top-notch in Lagos State here. So would there be provision of CCTV on that bridge and some other things to make it functional in the state?
Of course, the idea is that that bridge has a walkway. The idea is that anybody who feels like you want to walk, you want to jog, you can go and use it. And what that means is that the government is guaranteeing your security. Of course, there will be cameras there. Already now, there are so many roads in Lagos with cameras that, take for example, your colleagues in LTV, in Lagos Traffic Radio, FTR, they have a board, a screen on which they can see at least 300 roads in Lagos. So they can report on road traffic condition right from the office without going out there to see the road by themselves. And so the security cameras, they are all over the place, but more will be erected. Okay. It's all part of our smart city project, under which we are installing 6,000 kilometers of fiber optic cables.
All right, so for those who, of course, might not be able to come to Alausa tomorrow because of security reasons, where can they watch or where can they view live coverage of Mr. President's visit.
So many television stations will be viewing Everything Tomorrow live, including your own LTV. Right. All the other stations will join you. And then I hope you will find time to invite some of us in the media team to join you in running commentaries as these projects are being viewed by Lagosians.
All right, this will be a fine place to leave this conversation this afternoon. Thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Mr. Gboyega Omotosho, for finding time to be with us here on the program today. We appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you for inviting me.
Right, of course, we've been speaking with the Commissioner for Information and Strategy here in Lagos, taking us through Mr. President's two-day visit to Lagos and the unveiling of iconic projects tomorrow and on Thursday. And like the Commissioner has promised, Lagos Television will bring you abreast of situation tomorrow, as well as other television and radio stations, of course, here in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining this broadcast this afternoon. Of course, Ajibola Ojishola has been here with me. Ajibola.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Of course, Mr. President will be commissioning those projects in different parts of Lagos State tomorrow. Taxpayers' money at work, like I did say. And as Lagosians, you owe yourself that duty to be law-abiding and, of course, take ownership of this project. Thank you for watching the show.
The President, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is coming home to celebrate progress. President Tinubu will commission key projects that will transform Lagos and further strengthen our position as the country's economic powerhouse. The strategic 5.04-kilometer Ojota-Okpebi Link Bridge, the Lagos State Geographic Information Systems, ALAUSA, the state-of-the-art multi-level agency building, ALAUSA, and Tulu Schools Complex comprising 36 schools, a stadium, 19 football pitches, lawn tennis courts, and other sports facilities built for over 20,000 students. Join Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu on April 8th and 9th, 2026 as he welcomes the President for the commissioning of projects that will shape the future of Lagos. Igbiga Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni.